Hi, I'm the Moroccan angel, and I'm here to help others set things right with their Maker. We will begin reading. Hi. We will be reading from the New Testament book of Matthew, chapter 7, verses 21 through 23. And it reads, "Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father, which is in heaven." This is Jesus communicating this. Many, that word is important, many will say unto me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name cast out devils? And in thy name done many wonderful works? And Jesus states, and then I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. So let's get something on the table at the very start. Only professing Christians call Jesus Lord, meaning he's speaking directly, specifically to those who are professing to be Christians. The very ones who are claiming to faithfully obey him and love him. No one else. Furthermore, these individuals were under the belief that everything's fine, that their position in heaven was secure. And we know this because, one, they're calling him Lord, and second, we see that they're presenting a case to solidify or confirm their beliefs, that they're his friends. There's obviously a disconnect here. I tell you, something's wrong. Do you want to hear something terribly frightening? They lived their entire life living a lie, a delusion. You see, a delusion is a false belief or judgment about external reality, a false belief that is held despite incontrovertible evidence to the contrary. So it appears that throughout their life, they said, quote unquote, we prophesied in your name. This means they were under the impression that they were speaking under the inspiration of Jesus' Spirit, when in fact, they were being inspired by demons. The doctrine of devils. Teaching and cleverly preaching to others how to know Jesus, and they themselves don't even know him. And we'll get to the verification of that in a moment. But these individuals, they even done wondrous works that demonstrated miraculous power. Like, wow. That's a few steps above the pastors we see today. Because it doesn't take a miraculous power to pray away a cold with Robitussin or a headache with Tylenol. If you want to see the true state of quote-unquote miraculous power within the modern-day church, take a close look at what happened at the start of the pandemic. When the plague COVID came to town, the church doors closed and the Christian leaders put on masks. and threw one on the statue of Jesus, just in case. Did this not concern or pique the interest of anyone, given that Jesus is known to be the greatest healer of all time? Well, this next reason that these individuals give is actually quite intriguing. These individuals claimed to cast out devils. Do you know what this tells us? That individuals who are void of Jesus' Spirit can also cast out or drive out devils. Well, wonders never cease. Well, how do we know that despite all of these significant signs and wonders, that they didn't actually have the Spirit of Jesus? Because Jesus himself stated, whoa, back up, back up. I don't even know you, he said. As a matter of fact, I never knew you. You know, Jesus gave somewhat of a story reflecting upon this unfortunate experience in the book of Luke, chapter 13, verse 26. And he states that these individuals will be pounding at the door, declaring, "But we ate and drank in your presence, and you taught in the streets." Can you hear the desperation? Can you feel it? Tell me, are you among those who call Jesus Lord? So why did Jesus reject many of those who called him Lord and demonstrated these acts in his name? Well, let's see it with our own eyes, directly from the scriptures. In the New Testament book of Luke, chapter 13, verse 27 and 28, in this story Jesus said, "The master of the house," which is himself, "shall say, 'I don't even know where you came from. Get away from me.'" And so why is he rejecting them? Catch this. He said, "Get away from me, all ye workers of iniquity." In Matthew 7, chapter 23, he says himself, "I will profess plainly unto them, depart from me." Why? Ye that work iniquity. The original Greek word used in this particular passage for sin or iniquity is anomia. This means those who violate the law, the sinners, the unlawful, the wicked. Now, for those of you who are curious, the original Greek word for work, those who work iniquity, is ergadzamai, meaning to toil or to be engaged in or with, and it derives from the word ergon, meaning an act, a single act or a deed, a thing done. It's one act of rebellion, let alone multiple acts. But I also want to point out, what law in particular is he referencing? You know, those who violate the law, those who work iniquity, the violators of the law. What law in particular is he referencing? Why, it's the laws established by the God of Israel within the original Testament. What was that? You don't have to keep these laws as a Christian? Yes, you do. What was that? Because Jesus stopped the law? Huh. No, he didn't. Jesus is saying right here in black and white, historically documented text, that he will absolutely reject those who are sinners. Come now. Everybody knows that no sinner enters into the kingdom of heaven, regardless of what you label yourself as upon the earth. Do you really think there's religious sects in heaven? No sinner shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. Hard truth? Yes. Because a lot of people think it's impossible. Well, what is a sinner? In the Christian book, in 1 John chapter 3, it states that sin is the transgression of the law, the Mosaic law. It's unrighteousness. Because righteousness is defined by the laws and commandments established by the God of Israel. And Jesus absolutely taught and commanded his followers to keep them. And when we read further in the book of 1 John, chapter 3, at verse 6, it states, "Whosoever abideth in him, do not," hear me, "do not sin." Whosoever, this is heavy now, anyone that sins or commit an act of disobedience, watch this, hath not seen him, neither have they known him. No wonder he declares, "I don't know you." They're declaring, "Lord, Lord," but they're not doing what he commanded. They're not doing the will of his Father in heaven. This is the very reason why they will be rejected. They are workers of iniquity. And it's further confirmed that anyone who sins, they do not know him. You see, many professing Christians confuse human love with divine love. Jesus didn't say to quote-unquote love him with human love, which is characterized through expressions of charitable acts, crying, emotions, warm fuzzy feelings, hot chocolate, celebrating Christmas. But quote-unquote divine love, that's a whole different thing. That's an expression of devotion through obedience, perfect obedience to his teachings and commandments, including adherence to the laws established by the God of Israel, the very one that Jesus worshipped and served. Think it's impossible? Schedule a one-to-one with me, and we'll scripturally walk through it. Because Jesus stated clearly that those who sin, who engage in acts of rebellion and disobedience, will be cast into a place of torment. Well, let's see. Verse 28. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. That's an expression of pain, torment. And when you see Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and all the prophets in the kingdom of God, and you yourselves are thrust out, wow, that's troubling, is it not? He's speaking to those who profess to be Christians. Let's see, there's 2.6 billion professing Christians, and Jesus said many. What's many out of 2.6 billion? Not adding those who past before this present time. He said many call him Lord, Lord, but they won't enter in. They're not doing what he said. They're not loving him with divine love. Because a lot of Christians, professing Christians, don't think it's possible. If you would like more material on this topic, I suggest a book entitled 3 Warning Signs that you are not a biblical Christian. You can find it on Amazon or on my website at meeka6.com. I provide 3 major warning signs that Jesus gives within the scriptures, which, if heeded according to Jesus, will spare you of being in a similar situation as the ones we've read about today. If you'd like to go deeper on this topic, and you're pretty serious about the state of your soul in direct accordance to the ancient scriptures, and you want to live a life free from the tormenting grip of sinful thoughts and behavior, if you are finally ready to answer the call to holiness, this is what I do. Through a series of 4 coaching calls, I instruct and provide you with the necessary biblical knowledge and skills to stop sinning before it's too late. Take advantage of the opportunity that is now set before you. No one should take time or God's mercy for granted. Visit my website at meeka6.com, and Almighty One willing, I look forward to working with you to bring about this powerful transition in your life. I'm the Moroccan Angel. Do what is right. Always. It matters.